Hello, everybody, and welcome back to JSmith Disappoints the World with Don't Starve, episode 74 of this series. I am a terrible person, and I get over dramatic when I die, as happened last time. But I'm back, and I'm raring to go. Hopefully do so. Oh, look, the game deleted my save. That's cool. Well, maybe, I don't know, does it delete? I don't understand how this game works. But that's actually okay because I died and, well, hold on, stand by just a moment. So let's go. Do I have? Yes, okay. So it didn't delete everything that I had going for me, thank God. So I have Wolfgang here. He has higher health and a bigger stomach and he hits harder. Basically everything that I need, hopefully to not die as much and as often as I do in the past. But also that kind of comes down and boils everything kind of down to me and how I play. So I really have to be more cognizant of putting on the log suit when appropriate. And basically anytime I go to attack something, I should be wearing a log suit. That's pretty much it. End of story. And if I don't do that, then shame on me. I predict I'll probably forget that roll. Let's say 17 minutes from now, something stupid is gonna happen, and I'm gonna see maybe like a spider, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, spiders are stupid. I'm gonna kill the spider," and then I won't have a log suit, and then the spider will probably murder me, or something bad will happen, and then I'll die. I can't believe. Well, I can believe, but it's funny to me that I would die by the pig. You know, it's such a docile creature, and it's my own fault because I decided to attack it. I really like this guy's striped suit. I just had to mention that for whatever reason. But, alright. So I gotta be super cognizant of my surroundings. Especially as since the new update has come out, it really made the game a lot more challenging. Resources, I hear, are a bit more scarce. So I want to be super aware of that situation, as it will present itself to be more of a problem later down the line when I eventually have to find resources and not die. But for now, as always, it seems every 3 episodes, I'm back to square one, trying to figure out what I did wrong the last run. But I hope, and I think I'm trying to do a little bit better every time that I come out and start playing this game. But who knows, maybe I'm just getting progressively worse. I remember back in the olden days, and I'm talking episodes, let's say 1 through 20, when I barely died. I think I got to not episode 69. I got to day 69, somehow, some way. But then that was also, you have to take in consideration before. Well, a lot of that, I think, was before the dogs were even part of the game. And before the sanity meter, before, I don't know, it seems to be a lot of things that could kill you, and how a lot of things were just a little simpler times back then. But, such as the game in beta form, I'm absolutely not saying that the game should have stayed in that mode at all. I just remember when I used to survive. That was a fun time. Hopefully you guys are still, you guys are still here, you're still watching, so hopefully I can provide you with the content that you have come to expect, which, for better or for worse, I suppose. I don't know. I'm just trying to be all I can be in the Don't Starve land, future, soul, universe, galaxy, the world. JSmith, you gotta think about the words that you say before you start spewing them all over the internet, because you're not making any sense. Well, maybe that's the kind of man I am. Other side of my brain. Well, other side of my brain, you're a scumbag. Well, yeah, probably. So I got grass. I have no, get the grass. I need saplings. I have 4 pieces of flint, which will be enough to gather some wood. So let's chop down this tree. Hopefully one of these other trees don't turn into a giant weird tree and murder me. If it does, maybe I'll get some pine cones and plant them and kind of save the world for myself. It seems to be going pretty well so far, so let's move on down. Chop down this guy. Nothing bad should happen. I hope. I really love the way that this water just kind of works. It reminds me of, I don't know, I guess like a puppet show or something. Not that I don't think I've ever seen a puppet show live. Have you guys? It just seems to be something that's a dying breed. Not that it is ever prevalent, other than, say, the medieval times. I don't know, were puppet shows around in the medieval times? I would imagine. What forms of entertainment did you had other than, you know, like doing each other or something, or going on crusades to murder a bunch of people for the hell of it? Well, I guess it wasn't. Well, some might argue it was for the hell of it, like in the religious sense of the word hell. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. Just ignore the man behind the Don't Starve game, because he has no idea what's going on. Let's chop down some more trees. Get as much logs as I can. Some more flint over here, which is much appreciated as always. So down, collect logs. I'll even collect the pine cones, just in case something bad does happen. What I want to do, mostly just collect trees right now. I also probably want to look for rocks at some point. And also, what else am I going to need? Rocks. Oh, all the bits and pieces to all the items that I need. I'll try to find those. But as we saw in the previous videos before I died in the most horrible fashion, everything was really, really spread apart. So no longer, I don't believe, I'll find all of those trinkets, as I have dubbed them. Are they really called trinkets, or is that just my word for them? Maybe, I have no idea. But I'm going to need to find all those trinkets, and hopefully just bring them all together. I have no idea when or where or how that's going to be possible, but I'll figure it out, or at least attempt to. But before that, I am going to collect all of this fun stuff. Maybe I should, actually what I will do is explore all of the darkness, and only really can be concerned about camping in, you know, when it is truly nighttime out. I'm just trying to get rid of all the fog of war because, as I just mentioned, everything is a little bit more spread out, so that makes it super hard to find everything that you need without possibly missing it. Because now you're going to find little bits and pieces, and they're, you know, scattered around the world, but almost making no rhyme nor reason to them. So I'm just going to keep on trucking as I am, looking for anything out of the ordinary, and that's pretty much going to be me. I also will, as winter is coming, as it will always be coming, sexually and otherwise, I've got to be aware of that too. And so, you're really put in a strange situation, so it's basically like, should I make a permanent base right now to prepare for the winter time in the future, or should I go full nomad to try to reach the next level before winter even arrives? Not sure. But anyways, I got a crow feather. Not sure if it's going to be useful, but I have it. And I'm going to put some pine cones into the fire, as those are the most prevalent resource right now that I don't quite need. There's no real reason for me to carry around pine cones right now. Well, for base making purposes, let's say. Pine cones are extremely useful in a base making purpose because you can make a whole forest at your leisure. Right now, they could be used for if I happen to anger any of the tree gods. I will be able to plant these nearby, and hence I will be able to escape. Super great, super useful. And anything else, I can use them as fire fuel, so I don't have to waste all of my grass, especially since night lasts so it's such a short period of time now. So I don't need to waste that big piece of rope that I usually do. Well, not that a big piece of, it's not a big piece of rope, it's still only 3 pieces of grass, but it's kind of a big deal, I like to think. Maybe that's just me. I'm doing this whole zigzag type deal. I think that might be the best way to go about this. Kind of stretching it a little farther. Maybe I don't know. So I'm gonna go down. It seems about right, and cut back over to the left. I wish there was a run button. Somehow, something, some way tells me I'm not gonna find that. I think this is kind of a boring thing to do. This is a long, long grass. Is this a soccer field or I guess a football field, as I'm sure some or a lot of you probably prefer to call them. Well, I mean, my football is different from your football. Tomato, potato, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, flowers are good. I want to pick up one more, and that will allow me to put on my beautiful garland. So JSmith is now a pretty girl once again. Kind of looks like a bunny-ish. So you got like rabbit ears and a face. Or maybe if I went out this way, it could be a cat. I think it's more of a cat. They have smaller ears than a bunny rabbit. Regardless, I'm going to continue on, power on through. I should have cooked some of these carrots. That's okay. Not too concerned. Well, I mean, I should be concerned about health or hunger, as the game is called Don't Starve, but I'm kind of, I like to consider myself a rebellious man. Doing things that are just outside the realms of sanity. Although my sanity's looking pretty good, too, with 198. I'm surprised that, what's this guy's name? Wolfgang. I'm surprised that Wolfgang doesn't, I mean, he has this boost to hunger, and he has a boost to health, and maybe a boost to strength, damage? I'm not sure. But he doesn't have any lack for, is he, like, really the greatest character in the world? Is there any fault to being Wolfgang at all? I guess he doesn't have the ability to start fire in the darkness, and he doesn't have the ability to grow facial hair, although he's sporting a rather marvelous mustache, I might say. So if I were to get hair, I would have to become insane, to the point that I would be able to, I guess bunnies turn into little hair beasts if you get insane enough. And what that does is allow you to kind of farm hair in that regard. You have to be super careful, though, because as we have seen in the past, I haven't had much luck with the whole becoming insane thing. There should be a wormhole around here, unless there's random bits of rocks just scattered across for no apparent reason. But when I do find those like that, the unapparent reason is that there is a wormhole somewhere. So I'll go around trying to find that. Let's pick up this carrot as well. Hey! Didn't expect to see this. So there's the wormhole that I was looking for. So what I'm going to do is hopefully travel by this, see if I can see anything just outside of my periffs in regards to those little trinkets, as I like to call them. And maybe I'll find something. I'm not sure if I will. Probably not, to be honest. But doesn't hurt to check. And this will just allow me to find a faster way to navigate this whole shebang, this whole world, without having to worry too much about being slow. I'm gonna detour off that, because even though I do get this speed boost on the path, it doesn't help me. Ah, here we go. Alright, so I got one. I'm not gonna pick up the shovel, don't really need to right now. What I do need is a way to get a backpack, and I can make that. So that is gonna help me out tremendously. I'm gonna be able to pick up this shovel now. So let's grab that. Carrots aren't gonna hurt. Might as well pick those up. Could make this like a permanent base. Maybe I'll keep that in mind in the future, but for now, it's gonna stay there. And stay classy, stay cool. Maybe something's over here. I think one of the triggers to finding the trinkets are a sudden change of the biomes. And as we saw up here, it kind of goes from the marsh to the dark forest, and I've seen that before. The green patch will mostly, I've seen the little gold ring around there, and the gold ring is actually surrounded by a ring of flowers, which is an interesting thing to hopefully I'll be able to find. I might head back to the rock area, make a camp there for the night, because I think that will, yeah, you know what, I will do that. So this will allow me to have access to these rocks. Let's see, where do I want to go? Where would be most beneficial? Ah, how about right here, next to the crank thing? Alrighty, so let's make a base right here. Let's build this campfire. And beside this campfire, I'm going to build a science machine. And with this science machine, I want to build boards. How do I build boards? Do I have, yes, I do have enough boards. Hopefully, I can make enough. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, awesome. Just what I wanted. Now I need this chest. So in the chest, I will put all the miscellaneous things. What I do need to do before, actually night is still looking good for now. Let's add this fuel into the fire. I don't really need to do that, but I want to. I'm going to cook all of these carrots, and I will gorge myself until I have full hunger. I think 11 carrots should do the job. If not, I'll just go hunt for some more and the next day. So got back up to 11. Let's eat. What am I at? 208. Let's get up to 225. I think 225 is going to be the max, right? Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to verify. Let's store the gold. Let's store the crow feather. Let's keep everything else. I think the rest of this will be a little bit more important. I'm going to chop down these rocks. I always say chop down these rocks, but it's not like the rocks can really be chopped. You can't truly chop a rock, but you can chop a, I don't know. Anyways, let's add fuel to this fire. Certainly gonna have to get some more logs ASAP. 1, I'm gonna need logs for more fuel for future fires. 2, I'm gonna need logs to make a log suit. And also, I'm not gonna need logs to make a spear, but it wouldn't hurt to have as well. And I'm sure I'm gonna need boards for something else. I'm gonna need to make that temperature gauge. I'm not sure where or how much that is, but I can look that up right now, I think. Where is that at? It's in the science thing, right? So I need 2 boards and 2 pieces of gold. I have 2 pieces of gold, but I don't have enough boards, so I'm just gonna have to cut down some more trees, like I said. But I think there will be an abundance of trees around here. I'm sure of it, I should say. So let's head down here. Don't need the seeds. Don't need much of anything. I do need to get back on this path. I have to remember that this science machine is here. I don't think I'm going to miss it since it is on my map, but I've been wrong before. So back to business. Let's get some... Hey, there we go. I'll get Chester. Really, I'm getting lucky. And I get lucky a lot, it seems. So that is certainly a good thing to have on my side. But maybe it's World 1 luck. So sometimes you get, you know, first timers luck. Is that what they call it? I don't think it's first time. Lucky first, no. I'm not sure. The language of English escapes me. As do all the things that are involved with that, such as stupid little sayings. Beginner's luck. That's it. I'm a big, silly man. Chopping down trees, getting logs, everything a growing boy needs. That thing just grew really big down there. So let's check that one out. Hopefully it didn't turn into a big, scary ant tree, but we'll see. Is that regular big size? It looks bigger than that one, but maybe that's because it's a little bit closer to the screen. I think I still get the same amount of objects, items, miscellaneous things from it. That's alright, because it will supply me with enough to make me at least happy. Content, I suppose, would be a good word. Not ecstatic, certainly. But it's enough to make me grin, make me smirk, I suppose. Pick up all these logs, pick up the pine cones as well. And I might as well use the shovel for something. And let's dig up this last log. Alright, good stuff. Survival, I'm gonna need to make... Well, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna head back up to camp area. And I'm trying my best to do better at this game. And to do better at this game, I'm going to need some certain things, such as survival equipment or fighting equipment. So I'm going to need to research a log suit and spear. For that, I'm going to need rope. There we are. And it's back into this thing. So let me get a spear. And where is that log suit? Is that also in here? Log suit needs 2 pieces of rope. 1, 2, and back to the log suit. Alright, so now I feel happy, I feel content, and I feel a little bit safer than what I normally would. So let me actually get out my spear to run around with. If necessary, I'll switch over to the log suit as fast as I can. This path branches off the regular path, which is kind of surprising to see. But much appreciated, but much appreciated as I tried to enunciate my words a little bit better than what you're used to. So kind of, I feel like I'm backtracking here. This probably just does like a big circle then, huh? We'll investigate. Secret path to nowhere, essentially. Maybe it'll branch off at some other point, but it doesn't seem to look like that. No, how did I miss that the first time around? I'm not sure, but we'll try to see where this can possibly go. Going down here again. Maybe I'll branch a little bit farther off the beaten path. See if there's anything, you know, maybe down here. Probably not, as everything seems to spawn a little bit farther away from everything else. But it'll also allow me to get a little better glimpse into what is actually over here. Better than staying on the path as I did before. But as we are now in uncharted territory yet again, as the Fog of War is back, this allows me to do a little bit more exploration. Always, I want to make sure that I'm exploring if I see a biome change, because as I mentioned earlier, generally I think it seems to signify that something neat is nearby. Doesn't look like anything is by the Pig King, although I would wish there was. No little trinkets or anything. It's acceptable. It's acceptable. But what I'll do is explore around here. So maybe I'll get lucky. Don't anticipate that though, but you know, you never know. You never know. It's always good to question, and it's always good to explore. What I'm not noticing, what I'm happily not noticing, is a lack of spider dens. There hasn't been too many that I've seen. Let's count them on my map. I got 1. I've got in 2. So 1, 2. Am I missing any? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3. All right, 3. So 3 on my map so far. That's great. That is much better than anything that I've seen in a long time. And possibly gives me hope for the future, but I've been wrong before, and I'm sure I'll be wrong in the end. I hear a lot of spiders getting out of their dens, so I think it's down here that might prove to be a little bit of a troublesome area, but I think there's only going to be the 3 there, which is good. Do you remember the last time I saw those jumping spiders, and I think that they came out of a level 1 den, if I'm not mistaken. That is insane to see. And I suppose maybe that Cly has put in a new update to make the spider dens maybe more randomized in terms of what's in them. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that, because I like how the spider dens get worse and worse as you go along, and not necessarily kind of confine you to the randomness that we've seen. But I think that might just be, you know, nitpicking, because obviously I want to stay alive as much as possible. So I've got a kind of a skewed perspective. But even still, as like a gameplay, I don't know, because I do love random, and I would hate the game to be less random, I suppose. But I like living too, and so anything that's detrimental to that, I don't necessarily say no to, but I can at least throw up a protest sign. There's a lot of spiders, and hopefully they're gonna stop chasing me at some point. I love as soon as I mentioned, yeah, there's so many not spiders around here. I'm so lucky, feel so safe. That's exactly when the spider dens kind of come out of nowhere and try to murder me. But to prevent being murdered further, let's build a campfire right here. Ah, right by this lovely, beautiful thing. I'll pick up the box thing. Maybe I should cut down the stone wall just to have more items. Can I cut down the stone wall? Examine stone wall. Wall is strong like me. Hello, tree. The fire is not hot enough. So, on that fire, we can put some pine cones for you. There we go. Now, is good fire? Yes, it is. I think someone mentioned in one of my early episodes that Wolfgang pretty much talks exactly like the pigs. So for better or for worse, that's basically what you get. But I think it matches his personality, though. So if anyone was to say, you know, I don't know, I think it, yeah, for me it matches. And if Wolfgang sounded like a fine gentleman, then I think his avatar should have changed a little bit. But I don't know, maybe the stereotype of all big strong guys have to be dumb, maybe a little bit tired, but that's what you get when you play, I don't know, Don't Starve. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to freaking collect this sapling. Let's call it a day here. Let's call it an episode. Not quite a half an hour, but still the way that it used to work out just fine in the previous episodes. It always seemed to be like the half-hour mark would be around more the new day, but it doesn't seem to be the case this time around. So thank you guys very much for checking out this episode. I love you guys, and always have, and always will. Leave me some comments, leave me some feedback. If you want to reach me outside of YouTube, always feel free to do that on Twitter, and that name is JSmith_OTI. You can also check out my Twitch account, which is twitch.tv/JSmithOTI. No underscore that time. Regardless, thank you all very much. I love you, I appreciate you, and I'll catch you next time on Don't Starve. We'll see you around. Later.